we swore that we would never do it again.
That is true.
Right. So thanks everyone for joining us at the live stream today. If hold on, sorry. If you're probably wondering what's going on. Very dramatic thumbnail, end of an era. Some big changes are happening.
That's true.
So do you want to tell them? Do you want to break the news?
We're going to Spain.
Yay! The channel will continue, so don't freak out. We'll still be making videos, but things are going to be different. And I thought instead of stringing along and various vlogs and stuff, we could just do a live stream and answer all your questions and try to talk about the reasons for doing it, what we're going to miss, what we're looking forward to doing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I thought what would be interesting to talk about is, we had this experience of selling everything in our late 20s, early 30s, and how it's different now because we're older. And it seems like a far less responsible thing to do at our age. But before we hop into that stuff, I thought it'd be fun just to show you guys some pictures from when we did it back in 2009, which would have been how long?
14 years.
Holy smokes. So this is our digs in Long Beach. This is where Laura and I met. We had this really nice 2-bedroom in Belmont Shore before it got crazy expensive. And this is about what?
That was like 3 weeks before we left.
3 weeks before we left.
According to the Flickr.
And you'll see that we had a lot of stuff. And one thing that we came away from this experience was not wanting to collect stuff or have stuff anymore. But
we failed.
We failed.
I feel like for years we were just like, don't buy things, don't collect things, get rid of stuff regularly, trying to live more minimally in like smaller apartments, that sort of thing, until just the last few years. And then we bought all of the things because we kind of like it here in Missoula, thought we might buy a house and stick around for a while. And now here we are getting rid of it all over again.
This is like deja vu. And like, I remember one of the funny things after we stopped traveling, we actually didn't buy a bed for over a year just because it felt too permanent.
Because you were scarred from the experience of getting rid of a couch. Turns out it's really hard to get rid of a couch sometimes. So,
So again, this is our apartment. Those were the bikes that we rode at the time, a pair of long haul truckers. And, we had set off with this grand notion of traveling the world by bike, doing it indefinitely. And we did for a fair amount of time.
Yeah, it was 3 years total of just sort of rambling around, not having keys or really a permanent address of our own. So, it was great. It was also, it wasn't a permanent vacation. It was exhausting and all of those things. So,
so we traveled on the truckers and also the Bromptons. So we've had different phases throughout our life. Different bikes, different styles of riding. And I think in this move to Spain, it's a completely different phase again, too.
It is, because it's in both of those, that was very much haul all of your stuff with you every day to a different place,
right?
Day after day after day. Maybe stick around one spot for a couple of days, but that sort of like constant travel, which is not our speed so much anymore.
It's a young person's game.
Well, I don't know if you just say to be young, but like we did it.
Right.
And I think these days the idea of really like sinking into a place for a while is much more appealing.
Yeah. So I think we'll get into, if you guys have questions about the move, what we're going to do in Spain, be sure to ask in the comment box and I will pop those up. Okay. So in honor of our move to Spain, what are we drinking?
Vermouth.
Vermouth. It's a thing. So cheers. So I guess let's answer one of the big FAQs, and that is why we're doing this. Why are we leaving Missoula?
Why not? Why are you leaving?
Winter. Moving here, I was well aware that winter was the thing. The first couple of years, we gave it a real go. We both had fat bikes and tried fat biking. We had a group of people that would meet for coffee outside when it was like -20. And that lasted for the first 2 years. And after that, it just broke me, especially last winter. Last winter was so long.
It was really long. It's it's winter. Yeah, it's cold and it's miserable, and it's if you don't do wintry things, if you don't like skiing and that sort of thing, then it's a little bit rough. But I don't know. I guess so. I did a study abroad in Spain when I was in college, 20 some odd years ago, and I loved it. I left thinking one day I'm going to come back. I've always wanted to go back. And then when we went last fall, it was like, oh yeah, I remember why I loved this so much. So that's a big part of it. We're in an interesting place where we can. So why not? And I guess for me, I'm just in a place in my life where, I don't know, Missoula is just kind of haunted for me in a lot of ways. And so I'm looking forward to something totally different.
Yeah. Let's see, we have any questions here. All right. Yeah, so like I didn't do a study abroad, but the post-college graduation trip I went to Spain with my roommate Ian, and we took the train around, went to Pamplona for running the bulls, and definitely enjoyed it. And I always wanted to go back.
Yes.
And like Laura said, we got a chance to go there last fall. We stayed for a month. It's very overwhelming at first, but I think by the end of it, we were both like, do we have to go back? It's -20 in Missoula.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because we were on that sort of track of, considering buying a house and all that sort of thing. And then we went over with this, well, let's just make sure. And it just, I don't know, there's something about it that just felt so right. And I think a big part of that is just that there isn't that same hustle culture that we have here in the States. There's a street culture. I think it's a street culture also. Like, I feel like in a lot of parts of the States, if you sit on a park bench for more than 5 minutes, and people are like, what are you doing?
You get shooed away.
And it's just a thing to just, meet people in the street, sit out. If you sit and you just like people watch for an hour, nobody thinks you're creepy. And I just really love that. Missoula is fantastic, but I feel like we've lived a real proper hermit lifestyle for the last few years. So it'll be nice to just be around people and activity and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. What other reasons do we have for moving to Spain? Winter, you addressed that. Like it's really hard, guys, to have a YouTube channel about bikes when, out of the 12 months of the year, you can only ride bikes for two of those months.
Three
if you're lucky. That's the whole reason I started Cave of Bad Ideas, is because I needed something some way to create content during the winter. And that's also when I started doing interviews, just because it's hard. Like, you think of Montana, and you think of doing outdoor stuff. When you can ride bikes, it's great. But I feel like I've actually ridden bikes less since we've moving from Portland to Missoula.
That's true. I think, when we lived in Portland and when we lived in Long Beach, we got around by bike. So we, went to work by bike. We bought groceries by bike. We went to, meet people by bike. All of it was by bike. And Missoula is a great city to bike around for the, 4 or 5 months of the year that there's not snow and ice on the ground. And so it sort of just hasn't been this regular thing the way that it was in other places. And so to move back to a place where people walk to buy groceries, where it's just easy to get around without owning a car, I think it's going to be really exciting. I love our van, but I'm also really excited to not be a driver for a while.
So more biking. Yeah, that's one of the reasons. I'm also really curious about the cycling culture in Spain in particular, but in Europe in general. I feel like we've not exhausted everything in the US, but we're pretty familiar with it. And it'd just be fun to strike new ground, to see if there are party-based riders in Spain or Europe in general, and just shake things up on the channel. So,
yeah.
I mean, I am to be honest, I am intimidated by. I don't think we mentioned where we're going to land initially. It might not be the place where we stay forever, but it's in a region of Spain known as Catalonia, and the town is Girona, so just north of Barcelona. And it's got its, people get really touchy when you refer to that area as just Spain and just paint it with a broad brush. They have a very strong kind of identity, so I want to respect that. But yeah, Girona, hotspot for cycling for the pros training during the winter months. So just explosive bike culture. I mean, it's just the most amazing bike shops we've ever seen in a very walkable kind of radius. But it is intimidating because everyone's like Uber roadies.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I was kind of astounded when we were there about the riding. There's just so much. I feel like Europe is really well known for its like incredible pavement, and there was that. But there was also so much incredible gravel, and man, I thought we had good gravel here. But there was just, you can do like flat rides, hilly rides, mountain rides, short, long, and if you want to stop for a coffee in the middle, that's an option. You can't do that here in Missoula unless you bring your coffee with you. And you probably don't want to bring like a ham and cheese croissant because you're in bear country. But who knows?
I think before we jump full on into Girona in Spain, what are the things that you think you'll miss about Missoula?
Well, I think the thing that I'm going to miss the most is that 2 blocks that way, out our front door, is essentially nothingness. It's just we walk down to the end of the street, make a left, make a right, go past the farmhouse, and you're just out on a trail by the creek, and a horse farm. And sure, there's people that live out there, but it's very quiet. You have this incredible view back down the valley of just the hills and mountains. And I think having that quick and easy access to nature, I am expecting to miss that by moving to a city. I think that'll be the biggest thing.
I think I'll miss the folks the friends that we've made here. It's a very small crew, mostly like former employees of Adventure Cycling. But we have like this standing Friday coffee meetup that we've been doing that one of the people have been organizing for like years. During COVID, it was all via Zoom, and when things chilled out a little bit, it was in person. It was essentially clockwork, and it's kind of our lifeline to people. So I'm definitely gonna miss that. I'm not going to miss the food here. Missoula is a great place if you like pizzas and beer. That is their, regional cuisine of the area. But if you like other foods, I mean, there's like one or two, like literally like one or two. There's like 3.
What do you expect for a college town and ranching country?
I know.
But yeah, I mean, just like all the different flavors of Spanish foods, but then also just being in a city that has, you know, ramen and other interesting flavors, I think will be great.
Yeah. What else am I gonna miss here? I'm actually gonna miss this place that we're renting. This is the first time we've ever rented a house, and it's been nice. You know, it was such a blessing to have like so much space during COVID. You could do your work, I could do my work. We were in on top of each other. I could set up a studio downstairs. So I'm gonna miss that because we're definitely we're probably not going to have as much room wherever we land in Spain.
That is true. That is true. This has been a nice spot.
Yeah, we've been LARPing as homeowners, so it's been nice to have the quintessential U.S. homeowner experience without the mortgage. So let's see. I'm gonna pop through and see. This is a good question. So Michael Mann asks, how's the fly fishing around Girona? You know, I thought we were gonna have to give up fishing altogether, just because when I think of Spain, I don't think of fly fishing or trout. It's just too hot.
Right.
But what did you find the other day?
Well, somebody, I feel like we said that to somebody, and they were like, "Oh no, there's great fishing."
Yeah, it was Kurt from Wolf Teeth.
Yeah, we were like, "What?" And then asked the internet, and the internet's never wrong. And turns out there's incredible fly fishing in the Pyrenees and the foothills of the Pyrenees. So the river that runs through Girona has
crackling.
Oh,
is your mic still plugged in?
I think it's Russ's that's an issue.
Oh, okay. My mic. All right. Is this better? Hopefully, levels testing 1, 2, 3. Someone let me know. Oh no, I haven't done anything differently. I swear it's not my fault. Okay, is it still crackly? I can switch. The same. Okay, I'm gonna go with just this thing. Is it better this way? Can you hear me now? It's worse. Bang my soundboard. Worse. Is this really worse if I do this? Sorry, guys. Sorting out. Nope. Radio check. I don't know what happened. Is Laura's mic good? We can just share Laura's mic.
Do I sound okay? Share? How are we going to share a mic?
Well, we'll just...
So bad.
Okay. So...
Hold on, people.
Like a fuzzy echo.
Is it because our whole house is empty and there is an echo off the walls, perhaps?
Okay, can you hear us with just this lavalier? Someone just tell us really quick if Laura's mic is okay. Not the mic, likely the soundboard or software. No good. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Audio.
Hello?
Okay.
Hello? Is this any better? Hello? This is when we just love technology, huh? There's kind of an echo.
Do you have a phone in your pocket?
No, my phone is down there.
Okay.
Oh, somebody says no more noise. Is that for real? Huzzah, better. All right, what did you do over there?
I just kind of pressed it together.
Russ just kind of like
Maybe
pushed some things in an apparently magical way. All right, everybody says it's perfect now and it's been fixed.
Okay.
Excellent. Does that mean we still have to share a mic?
Yeah, well, let's just share a mic.
All right.
Sharing's caring.
Anyways, back to the fish. So yes, it turns out that there's fantastic fly fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the river the couple of rivers that run through Girona supposedly have native fish, trout, that.
talking.
Yeah, sorry, distracted. Yeah, that you can fish for. Girona, the last time when we were there last fall, the water level in the river was super low, so it's kind of hard to believe that you could actually fish those rivers. But yeah, I mean, we don't have much space in the bags that we're taking, so we're not taking fly fishing stuff right off the bat. But maybe the next go round, or if somebody wants to come visit us, you can stick a couple of fly rods in a bag.
Yeah. All right. So if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments. Hopefully the audio is all sorted. Okay. What else? So yeah. So let's talk about the reasons, or have we addressed all the reasons of why we're moving? So no winter, more riding, opportunity to just like bike commute year round. The food there is really good. If you like Spanish cuisine, if you like pork, they've got a ton of it. Let's answer this question. So, do you speak Catalan or Spanish?
We do not speak any Catalan. We are hoping, except for bon dia and a couple of how's it going kind of phrases. We are hoping to pick up more and potentially take some classes when we get over there.
Crackling again. Light fuzzy crackling. I don't know what's going on. Let's make sure. Let's check all the physical connections. Okay. Crackling audio equals bad cable. So it just reconnected cable. Everything is unwound. There's a hint of feedback. Man, it's getting screwed today. Let's see. Let me know if it's sounding any. I'm turning echo cancellation back on. So still crackling. So we'll just push on. Hopefully it's gonna sort its way out in a bit. Better now. Okay.
Technology.
Live streams, guys.
Spanish. So I do speak some Spanish. I would, like I said, I studied in Spain for a semester when I was in college. I majored in Spanish. It's been a long time since I've had to use it, so it is extremely rusty, but thanks to the magic of apps, I've been trying to brush it off. So that should hopefully be enough to sort of get us started. It's sort of interesting because we are moving to a part of Spain where Spanish, or Castellano as it's known in Spain, is actually not the dominant language. So most people in Girona speak Catalan. It's the official language. It's the language of the regional government, which is a completely different language. It's not just a dialect of Spanish. It's its own language. And so, it'll be good to know Castellano for the rest of Spain. I don't know how much we're going to really use it around Girona, but definitely brushing it off. Your Spanish is pretty terrible, right?
Thank God for Google. I've been studying, not as much as I should, but we did look up. They do have there's language classes that we can take there specifically for Catalan, so I'll probably take that. It's a beautiful language. It's like if you took Spanish, French, and Portuguese and put it in a blender. It's just so cool. So I'm actually excited to learn it. Yeah, it should be cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So that is that question. So currently some or Laura more than I, but yeah, we'll figure it out. What else? You guys have any other questions?
I think there was a question about the visa that we're going over on, which is a good question. So Spain just released their digital nomad visa earlier this year. And so that's what we're going to be applying for. It's an interesting process. We're actually working with a lawyer in Spain to put all the paperwork in, and per their advice, and the Spanish government advice is to fly over, get the tourist visa that you can get as a American citizen just showing up, and then put the paperwork in once we are in country, which is kind of interesting and slightly nerve-wracking because there's
Slightly. It's freaking terrifying, guys.
there is a decidedly non-zero chance that
we could get rejected, and otherwise this would just be a nice 3-month vacation, and we would have to come back and buy all this crap again. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. And then once, what's interesting about the digital nomad visa is that it's an effort from Spain to bring in more young folks, more sort of tech industry, some of these sort of things. So there's a lot of, it's a slightly easier process. It is supposed to be a quicker turnaround once you put the paperwork in. And so fingers crossed. If it does go through, then then we go through the process of getting all of the, I don't know, the ID card that says that we're legally allowed to still be there. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, so the visa, if you guys are, or said digital visa, don't have it yet, you have to apply for it when you're in the country and hope you get it. So that's, we're cautiously optimistic that it will all go through, but also, I don't know. You just have to be prepared for anything, right?
That's when our history of traveling by bike and having no plan,
right,
and just sort of like riding down the road and showing up somewhere and hoping it works out, will come in handy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So Richard asked, do you have any long-term sustainability plans? I must have missed the plan. Well, Richard, the plan is very loose. The plan thus far is to get everything. We have to be out of this place end of next week, and we're gonna ramble for a month. We're gonna ramble for the month of October. So we're gonna do pop-ups. I think we've got one set up in the Bend at Chariot Bikes. We're looking for a place in the Bay Area to possibly do one. And we'll just play for the month of October, and in November is when we fly over. Put in the paperwork and cross your fingers. So, sound is awful. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Buzz is active. I think it might. Like Laura asked me before the live stream if I should plug the computer into the network. And I told her I'm going to be bold. If we're going to do it via Wi-Fi, so I think it's coming back to bite me in the butt. So apologies for that. What else?
What were we just saying about just sort of like going with the flow? Seems pretty fitting to me. Anyways. Yeah, so we have a week left here in Missoula. You kind of can't really see it in the camera angle, but we're surrounded by boxes of stuff that still need to go away. And it's otherwise pretty bare. But what's been the benefit for us of not having a couch in the living room anymore?
Oh, we've been playing ping pong in the living room. This table, right after we get off the live stream, is we're going to be playing some ping pong. So that's going to be good. Yeah, sorry for the audio once again. But it's all very interesting.
Yes.
Well, I don't want to torture you guys if the audio is crap, but there's still a bunch of you in here. If I saw the stream start again, it'll break everything. It's not gonna good idea, but that's not how this software works. The best I can do is unplug the mic, cross my fingers. But if it's a software issue, there's very little we can do. Can't restart. Yeah. Plug it in. I could try plugging in a different mic. I don't know. Is that worth the hassle? Do you have another mic handy? I could try. It's getting worse. This might be just YouTube or the software. Yeah. It's the connection. Okay. Well. That teaches me a lesson for going wireless on the stream. I feel like we've learned this lesson before. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're not going to subject you guys to terrible audio, terrible video. But hopefully it didn't. Hopefully you guys got the gist of what's happening and what's happening before things start to fall apart. Yes.
Yes. We're going to Spain. That's the short of it. TLDR. Send us questions.
Yeah. The channel is going to still keep happening. The content's going to change. Obviously, we're going to soldier on YouTube, just like we are live streaming again. Apologies. Thanks everyone.